Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode. We're finally in October now, so that means one thing: fall is here. In fact, I can show you guys how much it's fall. Look at all of the leaves. There's so much orange everywhere. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. For some reason, my tree doesn't have a lot of orange on it. But speaking of orange, would you look at that? Our corn is finally ready to harvest. And we should have a look at our soybeans while we're here, because I have a feeling that those are also going to be ready to go. And we got quite a busy day ahead of us. I did a little bit of work on the side while we were waiting, but never mind that. There we are. This grass is ready to harvest. We could do that, but what I'm worried about is the soybeans. And yes, they are ready to harvest. So I'm going to get my machinery all set up, and I will see you guys whenever I'm ready. As we can see on our chart here, wheat and barley are ready for planting, I guess for our winter wheat, and also corn, sunflower, and soybeans are all good to be harvested. So we are going to have a busy couple of days. And in fact, if we wait for our map to load up, we can see field 2 is completely ready, field 22 is ready, field 19, 16, 7, 8, and also 13. So we're going to have lots and lots of work over the next couple of days here. But we're going to take care of our fields first, and then we'll help out all the neighbors. I cannot wait to get started. Well, without any further ado, let's get right into this corn harvest. There we are. That is beautiful. We should go and get our T6 to go grab the chaser bin. We'll do that right away. I just want to take a moment and enjoy the corn harvest here. Here the soybeans right beside, ready to go just as soon as we're done with corn. We'll be getting to that hopefully today yet. You know, there's one vehicle that doesn't get a lot of love, and that is the old Ford truck. We don't really drive it much. I mean, look at the hours. I just cracked 1 hour on it. And it's definitely not getting all the love it deserves. I guess since we have a dump truck, it just seems like there's not much going on with it. But would you look here? This is what I came with a truck for. Withered oats. I thought I had cultivated that back at some point, but it seems like the game may have refreshed that. I'm not sure why, but I will grab the 8770 and we'll cultivate that down because we need to plant. And we need to plant soon. We want to get some wheat, some winter wheat in there. So it's a perfect time to do it while the combine's running. There's always a little bit of time for a few extra things. So that's, I think, what we'll do with the 8770. And we have that nice new cultivator we bought just a little bit ago, and it seems to be doing such a beautiful job. Why not send it out there to do some more work, eh? There we go. We'll set him to work, and then we need to go check up on our combine because it is full. It seems like it's not that short of a time period. Like, it takes a lot longer for this combine to get full than with the other grains. I don't know why, because corn you would figure would be a larger grain than most, but we're not too worried. I mean, he's only done a few passes and there's plenty more corn to go. I was almost under that thought that maybe I would lease a second combine, the same thing as this, and do my soybeans, but I don't think that's a very wise idea, simply for the fact that we would have to have two chaser wagons, and I don't know if I want to get a second one or not. Maybe next harvest? I'm not sure. Corn sells for its historical high price in June, so we're nowhere near that right now. With the field being so close to the yard, I don't even think I will start up the dump truck. I honestly don't think it's worthwhile. So I think what I'll end up doing, I'll just cruise over. You can see the auger is ready to go right there on bin number 2. So I'll probably just go and dump it and be done with it. There's no need to get the dump truck out in my mind here. I am honestly a little bit curious if I can do this. If I can actually dump into the auger or not. I have my doubts, if we're being honest. Oh no, look at that, it actually does. I should have gone a little bit further, but yeah. Dumps into the auger. That is interesting. Good to know. Didn't even have to do the manual unload. It is a little bit slower than dumping into a semi from the look of it, but I could also just be seeing things. We're all done the field and behind us there, that little section, so it's just a small little piece left here. And then we can jump over to the other side of the road and start combining that. Unless we want to turn it into silage, which I have not quite decided yet if that's the route I want to go. But if we do end up combining it, we may as well do it right after this field. We'll see. Hold on, bud. We weren't done. Says he completed his task. I have my doubts, my friend. I really have my doubts. I think you need to get to the next rows there. We can put that in. Probably just a little confused because he just finished with the other section and he doesn't know which way to go here. But we'll set him straight on his way and he can get going again. There he goes. Well, that's the last of it from field number 2 as far as corn goes. We are going to take a look and see how much field number 2 gave us with the little bit of corn that we did actually harvest there. The combine is currently on field number 22 doing the harvest there. But yeah, let's see what we got. Corn, 41,800. That's a tidy little profit, I would say. So we'll bring the tractor on back, and I think for this next field I'll probably have the dump truck parked sort of in the middle, just because it's a little further away and it gives, you know, a little less cruising around. Just makes a little more fuel savings, I guess. So while we're waiting for our combine to fill up, I figure, you know what, we could probably do with a little more cash. Almost 31 grand for doing field 18 cultivating. So we'll borrow items. I know it's a little less money, about 2,500 bucks less. And we will jump on over and start that mission up. It's a little more cash in our pockets, which we could always use, and we're helping the neighbors out. I mean, who doesn't want to be a nice neighbor, right? There it is. I'll go and send this tractor on over to the field, and we'll see you there. Well, now does that not look like a proper thing? Having all the corn dumped into the dump truck? I would say so. Nice to see it. The tandem here on the field just looks right. So we're off here minding our own business and doing our own thing, right? And wouldn't you know it, my cultivator took down some rows of corn from a other field that did not even belong to us. So I'm not sure how he was able to cultivate all that corn down. It's pretty upsetting, honestly, but he did manage. Not too happy about that. Anyway, past is the past, can't do much about that. What we're going to do, we're going to take this cultivator on back home, and we're going to go get that planter, and we'll probably use this cultivator on field 22, is it? 22, yeah. We'll put it on field 22, put it to work, seeing as the corn is all done. We'll take the T6 and put it on the planter, and then the 8710, the old Ford tractor, will do the grain cart hauling for a bit. I think that's probably our best bet, so we can keep everybody busy. So the final count on the corn for that field was 2.8 truckloads full. That is absolutely fantastic. I actually want to see if I can see the corn pouring on the top. I lifted up my auger just a bit so I could take a look. And what do you know, it is pouring. Mind you, the lid should be open in real life, but since it isn't, we won't do much about it. The T6 I decided to hook up to the cultivator, and it's just about done on field 22 there. So we're gonna get our 8770 on the planter, and we'll get the old Ford to do the grain cart, and I think that should work out just fine. Now, a farmer that I used to work for, he always told me that every night you had to clean your combine at the end of the day before you go and pack it up for the night. So while it's not nighttime yet, we are done with the corn, and we should be washing this header before we put it away. That way we have, you know, no rot or mold, anything forming inside of our header here. Just helps keep the equipment newer, prevents rust, all that good stuff. Keep the dirt out and keep your chains and your knives, all that nice and sharp. And if we clean now, then we don't have that much to do later, right? Obviously we can't clean all the time, but it is good to clean when we have a chance. We're going to put this corn header away. We're going to hook up the real header, and we're going to get straight into the soybeans. It looks like field 18, the contract is 90% done. That is a good sign that cultivating is just about complete. Means that he's been doing his job while we were out and about doing our thing, and he didn't need me to babysit him, which I very much appreciate. My goodness. Let's see how soybeans do. This is probably our first time doing soybeans, if I'm not mistaken. For sure on this new map it is. I've done soybeans before, but I can't remember when. But yeah, no, let's see what it's all about. I'll probably end up cutting the field in half just to make it a little easier, not so much driving up and down. But we'll play that one by ear. So right where the combine is parked is pretty much the halfway point on the soybean section. So right about there we will dismiss our worker like so, and we'll turn the combine around and we will send our combine back to work. We'll do one pass in between, and then we'll send him back going the way he came, or oh, maybe we can have him come back one more time and send him back on the track he was at. Something like that. We'll figure it out for sure. It looks like our cultivator's all done too. Well, that's beautiful. Very much like that. And as you can see, our canola is doing very well. We planted that in the previous episode, so it should have been a month ago. And it looks like it's coming up real nice. I would expect a nice crop next summer. So we're going to take this cultivator and bring it on over to field number 2. We'll start cultivating some of this corn down, the whole time making sure it doesn't cut down any of our soybeans, because we want to have as much of the soybeans as we can. We don't need to waste any of our good soybeans. Just like that. Get her straightened out and hire a worker. Perfect. This fella's got one more line to go and he's gonna be all done. Very good. I'm just watching and see where the combine's gonna come from, and it looks like it cut a pass to the other side, and so once it's back here we will straighten him out and send him on his way again. This friend here is so close to done. My goodness. Then we can collect our 30,000, or close to 30,000 that it cost us to do this field, or that they're going to pay us to do this field, I should say. Just like that, they completed their task. Let's go into the menu and see this contract. It says it is completed. Good for 27.4. We shall collect. Thank you very much. And there's another field to be cultivated right away. Now, do we take that as well? Michael, how do you feel about that? You're the field north of us. You know, I think we'll take it. We'll borrow his equipment and we'll get right to work. I didn't even realize that that field was done, but I guess that makes sense. Here's his tractor and his cultivator. We'll bring this thing on back to the farmyard and we'll get right to work. Well, you know, I am actually very happy that Michael Hammond did his own field number 1, because that was not a pretty field. It was sugar beets planted there this year. And if you know me, I don't do any root crops anymore. We had that one potato harvest where I lost tremendous amounts of money. So there's no more root crops for me, unless it's like my own little garden or something. But absolutely not for other people. That is just such a waste of money, especially if I don't profit off of it and get the crops. I don't ever want to do that again. So that's just what it is. We can set our T9 off to work there. Now just imagine once our farm gets one of these T9s. That is a beauty. Can you imagine having one of those on our farm? That would be amazing. But there's no sense in being jealous for a long time. Why don't we see what our people are doing? I believe my tractor is running here. Planting is definitely going well. We're almost halfway down the field. There we are. I don't know what happened there. But where's our combine? That's the more concerning question. There he is. 55% full. So he can definitely make it to the end, and as he starts coming back, I'll pick him up and unload him. And this guy's just blasting along now too. I'm gonna have to really keep an eye on him, make sure that he doesn't start cutting down all my soybeans. There he is, man of the hour. My goodness, that combine is getting real filthy. We're gonna go pick up some of his some of the soybeans he's got in his bin there, just to empty them out while he's close by, right? That way we don't need to drive all the way to the end of the field. We might still have to, but at least we're not driving quite as far and as often. Keeping close to the truck, that's the aim of the game here. There we go, there's our first load of soybeans into the bin. That's exciting stuff, guys. Harvesting is in full swing. It looks like a field 1 is 20% complete. That's good. We like to see it. We are done half a field here, and I looked at our fuel and it seems like it's very low, so figured before we attempt the other half we should probably refuel the combine, and then we'll get started on the other half. Field 17 is currently being planted. We're putting some barley down, I believe. Yes, barley. So that should be good. And we're also cultivating field 1 still. I believe it should be right about halfway done by now. And yeah, I think things are going along really well. We got a couple dump truck loads into the bin already. Shouldn't take too long. We'll be finished on field 2 and we can start helping out the neighbors, which of course is always a bonus because we get a lot more grains. And I'm really looking forward to all that sunflower harvest. Now would you look at that, our grain cart ended up being only 4% left. That was a close cut, but we made it, and that's what's important. We're gonna go bring the grain cart on home. We'll wash it up. I'm saying grain cart, I should say planter, seeder, whatever you want. But yeah, the seeds were just about gone, so we'll wash it down, we'll refill it, and we can park it. Don't think we'll be doing any more planting in the very near future anyway, so it'll be good for the season. Didn't have to bring that seed tender out, which is always a bonus. So here we go. Yeah, field 2 is coming along really nicely. I'll probably be on that field next. I just unloaded a combine there, and so I figured I need to go check on field 17 here to see how that was going. As I'm driving by my cow barn, I can see I got a lot of straw and grass, but I don't have a ton of silage, so maybe I'll have to give my field on the left hand side there one more cut and just make silage out of the rest of that. That should probably do it. It should give me a year's worth of silage, I would imagine, depending on how many cows I have, obviously. But we'll deal with that on another episode. Right now we're just gonna focus on finishing field number 2 and number 1 there. You can see number 1 is getting pretty close to being done. It's probably some 60% done by now. Looks like it's about 78% done. Very good. Alright, like I said, we can just park the planter. We'll get it filled up yet, and we'll park it, and then we'll call her good for planting this year, I assume. Unless there's someone who happens to want to have some planting done yet this year, then we'll see. But look at the hours this tractor has racked up. It's honestly a bit hilarious. We got 15.8 hours, which I'm assuming we have to multiply by 100, which would give us, oh, what would that be, 1,580, something like that maybe. Either way, it's definitely got the most hours out of all the equipment here, and it shows. I use this thing all the time. What a great workhorse this thing is. It's gonna be a sad day to see this thing go. Well, this worker decided he needed to cultivate a little more. Not sure why, but he also cultivated some of my soybeans down, which is kind of annoying, because he's supposed to be doing field 1, not field 2. So we got that going on. I guess he did one strip for me, but that's not why I wanted him to cultivate. Oh, the fun of hiring workers, eh? Oh well, he should be done now, I do believe. Well, he is done now anyway. Let's have a look at our field 1 cultivating contract. It should be complete now. Yes, it is. And we collect. There we are. 32,000. So you may as well hop over and see the damage that this worker caused. Yeah, there's a whole row, a combine row worth of soybeans that he took down. Not cool. Oh well, not much I can do about it now. Should have been paying a little more attention. Coming in hot with another load. I know it's only 98%, but that's close enough, because we don't really want to just put 2% in, which is only like less than 200 liters, just so that our grain cart is full the entire time. That's a waste of time. So we're gonna bring this on in, and we'll hop right back to the field. We're getting pretty close to being done now. Should not take that much longer. Would you look at that? We are doing our last pass on the soybeans here. No thanks to the guy who went and cultivated a whole strip of soybeans down. That guy's an idiot, but I digress. We'll just deal with it. Anyway, since this field is pretty well done, I already have the T6 cultivating, and they've already done a nice little swath cultivating. In fact, we can have a look right here, and yes, they're right at the far end, and they're getting along just nicely. It's perfect. We'll have this cultivated in no time at all. In the meantime, we will get the old Ford ready to go. We'll probably just follow the combine to the end. I know we're not going to get a lot more. Actually, you know what? Instead of doing the old Ford, why don't we grab the dump truck? We can set the cruise there as well. That way it's a little less driving for the old Ford. Not that it doesn't need to be driven, but you know, why use two vehicles? I have to bring the dump truck back anyway. It may as well get loaded up. And it's got cruise, so I mean, we can keep following the combine all the way till the end anyway. We're just about there as is. Look at that, they cultivated my grass down to unreal. Some people, eh? Just can't believe these people. So hopefully that is, looks like there'll be a little more inside that combine. I'll have to jump in the combine itself to start it up, empty out the rest. Looks like it's all done. Well, there we go. We can bring that combine over to get washed, and we'll have to see what's next. Now, I can tell you from experience that this washing we're giving the combine is very, very small representation of what it actually takes to wash a combine. In real life, you can usually clean one header and one combine per day, and that's, you know, soaping it down and washing the insides out and all that. Yeah, it literally takes a whole day just to wash one combine. The big reason for that is these panels open up and there's a bunch of mechanical parts inside that get all full of junk. There's also, well, you can see below the axle, there's so much junk that accumulates here. Also the beaters. All this stuff needs to be washed out. And there's the sieves that are inside of here. You gotta take them out and clean them. You can see some hydraulic stuff here. If there were any leaks during harvest season, then you'll no doubt be seeing this all coated in oil, and then what's coated in oil will obviously be coated in dust, and so therefore you get a nice, what should I say, it's like a paste, a mud paste. And then we also have the engine way on top. I don't know if I can jump on there or not, but well, we can zoom in and you'll see it. The engine bay, yeah, any small leaks you have, well, that's obviously going to create oil, which again, same story, you're going to have dust caking onto it and making a paste, and there's lots and lots and lots of little parts and pieces that are in that engine bay. And then last but not least, you have your bin where all of your grains are in. Even though your auger is empty, there's still going to be, you know, probably another 5 or 6 5-gallon pails worth of seed in there, or grain, whatever you want to call it. So there's always a lot of stuff in there, and it takes a long time to wash a combine out. But luckily for us, we don't need to sit around and watch me wash a combine down for a whole day. I mean, it takes long enough just for me to explain it to you where I'm all washing, let alone, you know, let alone to go and actually wash this entire thing, which I'm very, very happy for. We should never have to endure washing a whole combine. That is actually almost torture, if you ask me. But that being said, I think the combine goes back into the shed. We can fold in the harvester for now. We will let the T6 do its thing. They're getting along just nicely, and we'll jump to the dump truck. Seeing as it's still idling here, we'll do one final dump, and then we'll see how much soybeans we got in total. Looking forward to seeing that. And now for our, and finally, we have 90,000 liters of soybeans, and we have 99,000 of corn, which is good. And then we have 104,000 worth of oats. So yeah, there's 90,000 of each. I can't wait to put something in here. I am really hoping that there's going to be some soybean, or sorry, some sunflowers left for us, because I just took a drive down and it seemed like some of the farmers already harvested their sunflowers. Very disappointing. I wanted to do all of it. Oh well, can't win everything, can you? So it looks like the T6 will be busy here for a while. I think that's a good time for me to say goodbye. Thank you guys very much for watching, for sticking around. If you guys want to comment, do so in the comment section below, and I'll see if I can get back to you guys as soon as I can. Otherwise, if you enjoyed the video and you want to help me out so that YouTube knows that my stuff is important and it deserves to be out there, give the video a like. Should be good. And if you guys are new, or you find yourself coming back once in a while, or if you enjoy this series and you want to see the next video, because believe me, I've already made 3 videos like this and they're all set up, so they're ready to be launched. So you guys can stay tuned if you guys subscribe, and yeah, we will catch you guys in the next video. Take care now.